Hello, I just want to make a quick addendum to my Variable Enchanter because I've noticed a slight glitch and problem with it. If I demonstrate that first. So, if I switch down a level, then obviously most of the bookcases should still be out. But what happens is they all retract and then they all push down. If you see. Now, that would normally be fine and I would not have a problem with that, except that occasionally the rapid pulsing of the power causes one of the pistons to glitch and not properly push up and down. So I want to make a slight adjustment to this, so when you change the power, the only ones that retract are the ones that aren't going to get power with the new system. And we're going to do that by adding a pulse lengthener to each of the piston arrays. So I've got myself, I think this is going to take about 32 repeaters and some extra redstone. So let's get to this quickly. Right, now exactly where we position each of these things is going to be based on, on the current wiring, because we need it to not cross-connect and so on. So if we start with this one, what we need to do is, I didn't bring any wool, so for now I am just going to, I'm going to cut until I've got some wool. Okay, let's do this properly. So, we can, where's the redstone gone? There we go. Now, you have to put a repeater as part of this, otherwise it'll start to flow back in on itself. So what we've done is, I'm going to cut that wire in a moment, is we essentially put a second track of power with 3 repeaters and delay it by the maximum. So you set each of those to 4 delays. And what that does is that when there's the temporary loss of power as it switches from one system to another, this cuts the power, but there's still power flowing through here slowly. And if this piston set receives a fresh set of power from the new setting, then this one will reach there before this one runs out, and you never actually lose power. So we need to get this to wire into there without cross-connecting. And how best to do that? I think what I'll do is I'll put a repeater like so. No, that's not going to work. Okay. I'm going to have to move this track one further out. So okay, so there I've simply made a bit of extra room by moving that there. So now that pulse lengthener can simply hook into there. It's sort of a pulse lengthener. It's more like adding a delay to the turn off. So if it gets turned back on again rapidly enough, those pistons never retract. So now we've got another set here. As you can see, this is no longer reaching all the way. But I can put its pulse lengthener here now. So I can do that, which means it reaches. Actually, I've got to do this one more forwards. So 1, 2, 3, wire it back over, set these to maximum. Now these are 2 completely separate circuits because these things are only going that way. So that's added a pulse lengthener to that one and that one. Now if we can fit one in here somewhere, I think we can just go like this. So this is a relatively simple addition to the circuit. The only real difficulty is getting it to fit. So 1, 2, 3 wire, set to maximum. Like so. Now this one, this is going to be the trickiest, because we've got wires running under here. We've got wires running all over the place. So, okay, I've worked it out. In order to get this effectively to there, I'm going to have to move this over this way 1. So I will start by quickly doing that. Okay, there we go. And the fact that that goes back there doesn't matter because this is a one-directional repeater. Okay, so that now has given me room that I can run this wire down here and connect up here. And then this thing's pulse lengthening thingy can be down there. So I don't want it to connect directly into, I don't want it to connect directly into there. So, but I think I can solve that by, if I drop down 1 earlier, it should be okay now. Just checking. Yep, that seems fine. Now, that I can solve by cutting the circuit, by putting a block in. And now here we simply have our repeaters. So we go 1, 2, 3, set to maximum. Wire it round. And we do that one. Okay, so that's, unless I've made a mistake somewhere, that's all the lower ones wired up with one of these lengthening things. Now, if this works, I'm just going to demonstrate it with the lower ones, and I won't show you me doing the upper ones because the principle's the same for them all. You just have to get that little bit of circuit to fit in. So now, when I switch from this power level to this power level, most of the lower bookcases shouldn't move. Okay, let's have a look at that from the side more. Ah. Okay, they drop down slightly still, which means I might need to add an extra repeater to the circuit. Now that time it was fine. That time it went down. So, oops, we just need to squeeze in an extra repeater on those things. So we can just make it 4 at maximum. I don't think I'll cross connect at all by doing that. Put that one in. Add a 4th one there. Where's this one? Here. Oops. Meant to do that. Add a 4th one. There's no reason why I can't just redstone here, because that's the destination anyway. And okay, so that's 4 on that one. This one needs 4. Okay, so that's 1, 2. Just making sure I've done them all. 3 and 4. So that's the lower level ones wired. And if you look now, if I go from, say, that setting down to about half, if you watch those ones at the rear, you can see those ones never retract. They stay up because they're meant to stay up. And if I drop down 2 levels, then only the ones that at the bottom, only the ones that are meant to move are the ones that move. So now we just have to do the same to the top. As you can see, I've added some stairs just for some quick access. So we just need to do our... Okay, now one thing I've noticed, I'm now in Minecraft 1.2, and I don't know if this is a 1.2 change or whether it was always like that. I realised I did not need the wool here. I can just run these repeaters straight to there and it works fine. I'm now suddenly wondering whether or not I need the repeaters at all, or whether I can just go with redstone. I think I do, because if I do that, I don't think that's going to attach to there. But let's give that a quick test. Ooh, that works. We've just saved ourselves a load of repeaters. I don't think it will work for underneath because of the way we've got it, but up here, this will save us some resources. And I don't think we're going to get any cross connects because of the way this is laid out. No, that's that one. This is good, especially because we're going to use more repeaters for the delay circuit thing. Right, let's just give that a quick test. Make sure it is all working. So off. And on. In fact, I am actually going to test a set of this down here. Have I been wrong about the necessity for the repeaters? There's a set that's easy to get to. We'll do these 3 at the back. Ooh, I actually heard stuff go up. So off. Everything retracts. On. Okay, repeaters are needed for the bottom ones. Okay. So now we've confirmed that we need the repeaters on the lower level, but we don't for the upper level. Let's add our delay circuit in. As you can see, I've laid these wires out slightly differently now, just for the sake of compactness and space. But we may have to change them again in order to get this repeating circuit in. Ah, no wool. Back in a second. Okay. I've got my wool now, so I can do this. If I put a repeater there and there, a wire there, and then cut it like so, and that keeps that one completely separate. I can now go, oops, repeater, set those ones to maximum, and wire back in. And of course, cut the wire. So now hopefully these ones at the front will not go up and down at all. Do I need that block? I'm curious whether or not that block should be up where it was or level with those pistons. And I think level with those pistons is going to be better. So Yeah, that'll be fine, I think. Sorry, should be paying attention to what I'm actually meant to be doing. Oh yes, testing those ones at the front. So if I drop... the ones at the front are the last ones to go up, aren't they? So I think with any change... yes, with any change in configuration, those ones at the front always need... will always retract. So what I did was a complete waste of time. So let's get these back. So those ones can just be directly wired. It's only the ones around the side which need the delay circuit, which is good. So I can put my delay circuit here. This can be the direct line. Now this is a level that is already wiring anyway, because I don't want to go up too far, because I want to cap this with glowstone. So put 3, set to maximum, wire it back in, and wire it in at the front. So now these ones on the left shouldn't retract when I change a setting, oops, which doesn't affect them. Perfect. Oops. This is lagging a bit for some reason. This one's slightly trickier because we've got slightly less space. But I think if I make my delay circuit run here, 1, 2, 3, actually, let's put it right into there. So that's my delay. That's the primary line. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and do that. So now those ones should delay. And last of all, now that's a repeater just to get the signal going further. I'm curious whether or not we can use it. Nope, that's not getting power. If I make this... This one's slightly tricky. Okay, and for this one at the back, we just need to add the repeater. Now, unfortunately, we need this repeater here to get the signal far enough. And I can't work out a way to get this as... Oh, yes, I can. Let's just... If we move this back... So there's room here for our delay circuit. So that's our primary. And then we can have our delay here. 1, 2, 3. And wire that in. Set to maximum. And hopefully that should work fine. Now, I did try doing this before 1.2, and I was getting pistons glitch. They weren't retracting properly and so on when I went from higher settings to lower settings. Basically, some of those would stay stuck down. There we go. What happened there? Why did those rear ones... That's strange. That is what's not supposed to happen. Maybe the delay needs to be more than 3 repeaters on full. I'm going to try adding a 4th repeater to each of these. Like so. So that's 4 there, 4 there. I'm not sure I set this one to maximum. And And we can easily enough add a fourth here, like so. Okay, so that's increased the delay. Ah, why did you still move? But only you. I'm going to go down this step by step. Okay, so the left-hand one is still messing up. Okay, and that's the one that actually withdraws the left-hand one, so I can't test any lower than that. Okay, so only that one on the left. Why is that? Okay, the power comes in, goes over there, and to there. Oh! Ha! I forgot to do that. I bet now it'll work. Oh dear, oh dear. I've just broken my leg. Right, set to maximum. There we go. Now that's a sweet mechanism. As you change settings, only the ones which need to move, move. Which I think is a lot neater. So, there we go. Oh, why is it that going from there up to there? Okay, I think what it is that when you increase power, there's a longer delay before the power comes back. So unless I keep adding repeaters, which is going to slow the system down, then I'm quite happy with it as it is. I mean, you can always just make those delay tracks longer.